Narrator tone, calm, confident, slightly bitter. I never planned on becoming the enemy of an entire HOA. I just wanted to run a simple kayak rental business on the lake. Inherit the small A-frame from my grandfather. And keep life quiet. But when a stranger named Darla Morin, the self-appointed property manager, decided she could claim my land, that's when the war began. Subscribe for more stories like this. Let's begin. I was sitting in a conference room with the financial crimes detective. She wasn't surrounded by SWAT gear or lockboxes. Just stacks of files, a single desk lamp, and eyes that looked like they'd seen too many people ruin their lives over greed. She slid a folder toward me. Detective firm. These complaints go back a few years. Small fraud. Small disputes. All pushed under the rug. Me. By Morin. Detective. Her name doesn't appear in official paperwork. But it shows up everywhere else. Former HOA treasurer. Rental fraud. Settlements. Lawsuits that disappeared before trial. Her fingertips tapped the folder. Detective. You're different. You have real evidence. Witnesses. Video. Financials that don't match board records. With your help, we can take down everyone involved. Not just the president. I leaned forward. Me. Everyone? She nodded slowly. Detective. They never work alone. Someone signs the forms. Someone approves budgets. Someone profits. We're not just looking for mistakes, we're hunting the people who engineered them. Silence. I knew what this meant. Detective. And if we move wrong, they'll bury this again. I left her office and drove back to the A-frame cabin my grandfather built. I remembered his voice, always calm, always firm. Grandfather, echo. Never let strangers rewrite your history. They'll smile while they steal your home. I paced the deck until the moon dipped behind the trees. The lake was glass. Windless. Unmoving. They thought I was just a kayak guy. They forgot I was raised by someone who belie. Land is identity. Not inventory. The HOA storage building sat behind the community center. A metal box. A resting body full of secrets. No cameras. No patrol. Just a single streetlight humming like an old neon sign. I waited until after midnight. The front door? Too obvious. The side utility door? Paint chipping. Cheap lock. I picked it in 6 seconds. Inside, darkness, humidity, gasoline. Racks of decorations. Plastic Santas. Snowflake banners. Nothing that mattered. But at the back. A black steel filing cabinet with a fresh padlock. Morin style. Tough. Secure. Boss-like. I crouched and lit the floor with my phone flashlight. Scuff marks. Fresh ones. Someone had been here recently. I turned the picks. Slow. Gentle. Click. The drawer opened. Inside, folders. Blue, yellow, red. Each labeled with a homeowner name. One caught my eye. Sawyer Dalton, Temporary Management Agreement. My stomach tightened. I opened it. Pages and pages of forged documents. Emails with my supposed approval. Signatures that looked perfect. Rental income reports claiming I agreed to profit share. It was professional fraud. But then, a mistake. A check. $38,250. Pay to Lakeview Property Services LLC. Memo: owner revenue holdback. Not HOA accounts. Her private company. My pulse hammered. I photographed every page. As I turned to leave, I spotted another filing cabinet. Old. Rusted. Dust clinging to every drawer except the bottom one. I pulled it open. Bank statements. Invoices. Cancellation notices. And then the worst thing I'd seen all night. A typed list. 6 property addresses. Each with projected revenue next to it. At the bottom, handwritten in neat cursive. Phase 2, acquire for HOA redevelopment. Next to it, $3 million. That number wasn't a goal. It was a plan. They weren't trying to manage the community. They were trying to own it. Turn Pine Lake into a resort. Buy out families. Erase legacies. Replace history with profit. I closed the cabinet carefully. Locked everything exactly as it was. I walked to my truck and sat perfectly still. No rage. No fear. Just clarity. They weren't incompetent. They were organized. And they'd chosen the wrong person to steal from. The next morning, the HOA board held a community update forum. They expected silence. Compliance. Polite questions. I waited until Morin finished her fake smile speech about new improvements. Then I stood up. Me calm. Before we discuss improvements, I'd like to ask why there's a $38,250 check made out to your personal company. Dead silence. Her eyes froze. The board members shifted in their seats. Board president. I'm not aware of. Me. You'll want to be. It's documented. Photographed. And now in the hands of a financial crimes detective. Morin tried to laugh. Morin. You're mistaken. Those are internal budgeting transfers. Me. No. They're embezzlement. I put the documents on the table. Color-coded. Dates highlighted. Her signature everywhere. Gasps from the homeowners. Whispers swelling like a wave. One resident shouted. Resident. Is my house on that redevelopment list? Chaos erupted. I didn't stay to watch the fire. I just stepped outside, hands steady, breathing controlled. Behind me, everything they'd built on lies collapsed. 2 nights later, I parked across from the storage building at 2 a.m. I didn't move. I just waited. At 3:07 a.m., headlights swept the gravel. A silver SUV. No plates. Morin climbed out. She rushed to the door, fumbling keys, trying to yank it open. She wasn't organized anymore. She was panicking. The files inside weren't property management anymore. They were evidence. Evidence she couldn't hide. She loaded boxes into the SUV, fast, shaking. Then, unmarked cars rolled in from both ends of the road. Blue lights. Detective, over loudspeaker. Darla Morin, drop the box. Hands above your head. Her body locked. She froze. The officers closed in. I sat still in the darkness and didn't say a word. The next morning, the lake was calm. Fog drifting over the water. I took out 3 kayaks for the early paddlers. They didn't know anything had happened. But I did. The detective called later. Detective. We found more than we expected. Ghost accounts. Faked invoices. Someone on the board helped her. Me. Who? A pause. Detective. We're still pulling the thread. When we're ready, you'll get a subpoena. The line went quiet. I stared out across the lake. What began as a rental argument had turned into something much bigger. Some battles come to you. Others, you're dragged into. This one? I chose to fight. This story isn't over. The documents recovered led to indictments. Some board members resigned. Some ran. But the investigation is still widening. And trust me, when you take away people's ability to control others, they don't retreat quietly. If you want part 2, tell me. And don't forget to subscribe for more.